Hello and welcome to FinoMoney, the fintech show in the new financial year. It's only been a week and a new storm has already come on the horizon. I'm Ajay and buckle up your seatbelts because this is gonna be one hell of a ride. Today on the show, we first pay a visit straight away to the site where the storm made its landfall. NPCI has recommended additional charges on PPI transactions. Now, who will pay the charges and why it is being levied? Find out in our special package. Following this, we continue in the eye of that very same storm that led to a backlash on social media on the additional charges levied on PPI merchant transactions. The interview with Anup Nair, CEO Domestic InSolutions Global Limited. And then comes the aftermath of the storm, and in this case, the additional charges is called the interchange fees. Find out in our trivia segment FinoGyan as to what exactly are they. Now before we get to all of that, it's time to slice and dice, chop and churn and carve and cut across the world of fintech with a big five. The headlines coming right up. First, after clocking millions of dollars in funding, PhonePe launched its consumer app named PinCode, built on the ONDC platform. Now, using this app, the payments company will enter into the local commerce segment. Initially, the app would be available in Bengaluru and would be expanded to other cities once the app achieves 10,000 transactions per day. And corporate cards of SBM Bank India Limited have been blocked by the RBI. The cards were offered in partnership with several fintechs has now been subjected to a fresh KYC. According to a report on Mint, startups and fintechs may face difficulties in transactions due to this recent order because SBM has become the go-to bank for fintechs with tie-ups with more than 44 firms. Then UPI ends financial year 2022-23 with a bang. In March, 8.7 billion transactions were processed on the payments platform. This has been the highest since its inception, amounting to 14.05 lakh crore rupees. If we go by NPCI's data, last year in March, 5.4 billion transactions were processed, amounting to 9.6 lakh crore rupees. Overall, FY23 saw UPI processing 84 billion transactions amounting to 139.09 lakh crore rupees. And Avanti Finance, an NBFC tech company, has raised $24 million from Rabobank Group and IDH FarmFit Fund. The funds will be used to expand its partnerships among other things. A report by VC Circle said that the company will be expanding to 1.5 million households with 2,500 crore rupees in assets under management. Back in October 21, the company had raised $15 million. Well, we start off with PhonePe and we end with the same. Last week, the payments giant had pulled back from a deal to acquire BNPL platform ZestMoney. This is due to the lapses discovered in its due diligence of ZestMoney. According to a report in the Economic Times, other issues like sustainability of business and shareholding structure of ZestMoney could have led to the failure in negotiations. If the deal had taken place, then $35 to $40 million of debt liabilities would also have been acquired by PhonePe. Confusion, confusion, confusion. We all don't like it, but confusion likes us very much. This is not some catchphrase for the promo of KGF Part 3, but that's what exactly happened this past week when NPCI's twister on charging PPI transactions knocked the wind right out of our sails. Because the biggest debate was whether customers will be paying these charges. But hey, are you ready to pay for such charges? Let's find out in our special package.
From the 1st of April, an interchange fee of up to 1.1% will be levied on UPI payments of over 2,000 rupees on merchants through prepaid cards or wallets. This is according to a circular from National Payments Corporation of India (NPCI), UPI's governing body. Merchants both large and small will be charged an interchange fee of 1.1% on transactions above 2,000 rupees. Interchange fee means the fee charged for wallet usage. These fees will be given to wallet issuers like Paytm, PhonePe, and Google Pay. The circular also states that issuers of prepaid instruments, that is PPIs, will have to pay a fee of 15 basis points to the remitter bank for loading transaction value above 2000 rupees. Let's understand this with an example. Amazon Pay is a PPI issuer. A customer deposits 2,500 rupees from his PNB bank account into his Amazon Pay wallet. Then Amazon Pay sends a payment of 15 basis points to the remitter bank PNB to load the transaction. Now the question is whether the common user will have to pay this fee. The answer to this question is no. It is not applicable for peer-to-peer or P2P, peer-to-merchant or P2M transactions between bank account and PPI wallet. It means that if users makes payment to any person or a merchant, then there is no fee applicable. Though Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman had earlier said that UPI is a digital public good which is easy for people to use and also benefits the economy, it will remain non-chargeable. To understand this, we need to rewind the clock to the Union Budget 2023. In the budget of FY 2023-24, the government announced a reduction in subsidy allocation to fintech startups involved in UPI transactions and to compensate banks for the cost incurred on it. Compared to the previous budget, it has been reduced by about 30%, while the subsidy for 2022-23 was 2,137 crore rupees. Now it has been decreased to 1,500 crore rupees. The centre is reducing the financial burden, and it is possible that the burden will be eased in the coming times. So eventually, the burden can be put on the users as well. Another thing worth noting here is that recently IIT Bombay has suggested something in one of its studies that if accepted, users will have to pay a fee for UPI transactions. A uniform digital payment facilitation fee of 0.3% has been suggested. It's said that around 5,000 crore rupees can be raised in the financial year. It has been said that this will also ensure financial viability of the UPI payment system. If such suggestions are accepted, then it is certain that users may have to pay the fees on UPI transactions sooner or later. But the government has assured for now that there is no such intention.
Well, we are going to continue by going deep into the eye of the very same storm, the interview on charging PPI transactions. And joining us for the first time is Mr. Anup Nair, CEO Domestic in Solutions Global Limited. Welcome to the show, Mr. Nair. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you, Ajay. Thank you for having me on the show. Thank you very much.
Yeah, all right. Mr. Nair, I'd like to begin with your initial reaction on NPCI's circular charging PPI wallets with the interchange fees. Were you also confused like many because there was a backlash on social media?
First is, no, we were not confused. And we have this great relationship with NPCI where the entire team of NPCI is very welcoming in case we have any clarifications that need to be sought. So thankfully we did, because the fact that we are quite entrenched in this ecosystem, we didn't have too many, we did not have queries, but whatever little queries or whatever thoughts that we had shared with the bank, with the NPCI in this case. And well, coming back to your question, whether is it a welcome change? Of course, it is a huge welcome change from a situation where there was no interchange available. I think the announcement has been welcomed the entire ecosystem partners. So to that extent, we also being a very significant partner in the entire PPI process, and the fact that we have a large play in the entire digital ecosystem. Okay. We welcome this initiative. Yeah.
All right. Mr. Nair, now that the circular has said that there will be no charges on customers and only on merchants, so how will this new 1.1% interchange fee affect the revenue of PPI issuers and wallets here?
So first and foremost is from a situation where the PPS did not have any revenue arbitrage available. Banks did not have any revenues associated with all transactions which is using their infrastructure from a top-up standpoint. I think 1.1% interchange and the current revenue available in terms of 15 bips to the banks who are remitter banks, I think it's a significant change. Now, how does it play out in terms of the overall? It's very difficult to crystal ball at this time. Okay, it's important, but the larger note that we need to carry in this entire conversation is that it's a huge and a significant change. A huge. I mean, I think in the current landscape, I can call it as a tectonic shift right now.
Oh, right. And do you also think that this new interchange fee will create a revenue model for the UPI ecosystem? Because the RBI last year issued a circular asking customers suggestions as to whether they are ready to pay charges to reduce the MDR on wallet players.
So I won't comment on that because that's all a conversation. I mean, that's still a work in progress. But obviously, with the interchange component available for the ecosystem, I think it's a welcome change for the PPI issuers in the country. And that also includes us at this point in time.
So recently, IIT Bombay put out a paper proposing a 0.3% fee on all digital payments. So what exactly is your take on this?
So Ajay, honestly, I wouldn't want to walk the path on this. There's a lot of conversations that is right now in the domain of the regulator. It's also with the ministry and also it's a consideration of NPCI. So I think making any comments on this at this stage, I think I would like to stay away from that conversation at this stage.
All right. So just one last question before you let you go. How do you think your company InSolutions Global will be participating in coming times with PPI?
Oh, of course, we have some so as an organization, we are deeply entrenched in the ecosystem of payments across the entire BFSI vertical. We are an organization of almost 2 decades, and we have significant market share in the kind of domains that we work in. This is obviously a welcome change, and it hopes to kind of further boost our revenue models in this case as a PPI issuer.
All right. So on that note, it's time to wrap up this discussion. Mr. Anup Nair, thank you so much for coming and sharing your insights. Take care.
Thank you so much, Ajay. Thanks for having us on the show once again. Thank you very much.
Well, it is a new financial year, which means it's also time for planning your taxes. But before planning, you need to know the new changes related to tax. What are those changes? Watch Taxing Times to know all about it today at 4:30 p.m. only on the Money9 English's YouTube channel and on the Money9 app. Download now and know the 10 commandments of tax planning that will have a direct impact on your pocket. The storm has been weathered and the coast is cleared. But now it's time to look at the fallout. It's known that customers will not be charged anything as far as the interchange fee is concerned. But what is this interchange fee? Let's find out in our trivia segment, FinoGyan.
After all the confusion on charging PPI transactions last week, we now know that the interchange fee of 1.1% will be levied only on the PPI issuers and not on the customers. But do you know what exactly are these interchange fees? Well, if you don't, then this edition of FinoGyan will debrief you on that. An interchange fee is nothing but, in simple words, is a charge paid by the merchant's bank which provides QR codes to the customer's wallet issuer for the acceptance of PPI-based UPI payments. So this basically means that the PPI issuer of the customer will have to pay 15 basis points to the remitter bank or the customer's bank account, in this case if the transaction value is greater than 2,000 rupees. Now, since the customers will not be bearing any charges here, will the entire cost be borne by the merchant? Well, the answer to that question is no, because though the charges will be levied on the merchant side, it will be the merchant's bank who sets up the QR code to a customer's wallet issuer like Amazon Pay, for example, will have to pay the fees. But if the merchant's bank decided to pass on the fees, then it may impact bigger merchants who are more likely to see PPI-based UPI transactions on a daily basis.
With that, we pull the shutters on yet another episode of FinoMoney, the FinTech Show. Download the Money9 app and stay tuned to Money9 English's YouTube channel. This is me, Ajay, signing off. Take care, goodbye and adios.